1.3. And before that, Alvin Bishop, and I filled around and I fell in love. It's 28 past 11. Madonna Guy is with me in the studio because it's Bay Health. We wanted to talk about something that I think, and you're the expert, but I think it's on the rise, and that is Asperger's on the spectrum.
Exactly. When I was so I'm 49. When I was in high school, there was 1 in 10,000 kids with autism. When I first started going to congresses on this issue, which was about 10, 12 years ago now, it was 1 in 1,000. Every time I've gone to Congress, it's been doubling. Yeah. So, or it's been doubling every year. So now we're looking at somewhere, and statistics are all over the shop with this, but it's somewhere between 1 in 25 to 1 in 70 kids. Wow. So we're not talking 1 in 1,000. We're not talking 1 in 10,000. It's not just because people are diagnosing it better. You can see it in children these days.
Now, you obviously, you know all about Asperger's, but is there something that parents can do when they find out, when the bub's early, that their child may have this? I've got 2 girlfriends, and the boys are 17 and the other one's 19.
Yes.
And they're when they went through puberty, they got really aggressive and they've had no help.
Yeah. See, I tend to see a naturopath, it's all about getting the immune system and the liver, the kidneys, all the detox organs and the immune system working as well as possible. What ends up happening is that at some stage that gut-brain connection stops working. You can imagine you cannot have autism or Asperger's without a leaky brain. So something's getting across that blood-brain barrier and creating, like Dr. Ross was saying, we're electrical human beings. So basically something's messed up the electricity in the brain. I'm not saying a lot of them aren't beautiful human beings. I'm not saying that at all. But there's something going wrong with the wiring in the brain.
The 17-year-old, he was so mild and placid, but he didn't have any social skills. So we went to live with 4 mates somewhere, and they kicked him out after 4 days. They couldn't handle him. He thought that their room was his room and he could have whatever. He just didn't get it socially.
Yeah. There's something called mirror neurons that often get messed up with these kids. You know how if you're looking at someone in the face, if you've got normal empathy, it means if they're teary, you can feel something.
Yes, you can
take it on board. Or if someone's angry, you they're angry, you know either to pull back or help them out or get angry back at them. Yeah. So basically these mirror neurons, from an emotional perspective, are designed to help us work out where we are emotionally in time and space and with the people around us. A lot of these kids don't have that. A lot of them don't look you in the eye.
No.
So there's something going on where they want to avoid that. So maybe the emotional part of their brain is shut down, or something's going on in the wiring in their brain. Now, there's lots of things that can trigger these. In the last few weeks, we've chatted about histamines, we've chatted about EMFs, so electrical magnetic frequencies and that sort of thing. These are the sort of things that can create the blood-brain barrier weakness, and then anything in the bloodstream. This is the problem. It's not just about them. Once the brain is weak, what's travelling through your bloodstream and what can get into the brain? If you are having an allergic day and you're breathing in plenty of pollen or pollution or something like that, those pollutants can get across and into your brain and create low-level anxiety or anger. If you are eating a really poor diet with too many dodgy carbohydrates and sugars.
What about stimulation? Like a lot of kids, young adults, love watching Fortnite and other shows that they're never away from the television screen or the box.
The amygdala in the brain, which is to do with our fight and flight, pain and punishment, escape, submission, freeze, rage and anger, that part of the brain doesn't know the difference between reality and what we're seeing. So when we're letting these kids do things that are about...
They don't have any empathy, do they?
No, that's right. We're sort of almost beating it out of them at a really young age. Kids really need to be sheltered from those sort of things. They don't need to watch the 6 o'clock news.
No, it's true.
They don't need to know.
I don't like watching it.
It's amazing. So we need to treat them like children. We need to protect their brains so that they're not building up anxieties and panic attacks and anger, which is going up at the same rate.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. One of my girlfriends that I used to go to school with, she's got a grandchild, and she was saying, she's already on medication and she's 9.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad,
I'm watching some more. I've watched these DVDs in the past. I'm watching about the rise of the drugs given to kids. In America, it's just through the roof. They're much more medicated than we are here in Australia, but it's starting here as well. And it is so common.
Well, look, we're talking about everything Asperger's and, of course, being on the autism scale here this morning with Madonna King. And you could change your name and you will always be Madonna King to me. Madonna Guy. You're listening to Bay FM.
And who's today's